All right, good evening. My name is Justin with Holy Smokes Men's Ministry, and we will be presenting another cigar review tonight. Really excited about this one. This is one of my personal favorites. I've smoked this thing dozens of times, and every single time, always a flawless finish. This is the CAO. I never know how to pronounce this. Is it CAO or is it just CAO? But this is the BX3. And the BX3 is extra interesting. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of this package. It's extra interesting because it boasts Brazilian tobaccos. So the filler is long leaf Mata Fina Brazilian filler, but it also has filler from Mexico, Honduras, and the Dominican Republic. So it has a little bit of a mixture of everything inside the wrapper, but then the binder leaf and the filler leaf is also Brazilian Matafina. So very, very cool. I guess that's what the BX3 means. It's Brazilian inside and out. The wrapper, the binder, and the filler all have Brazilian tobacco in it. So this is notoriously for me been, it doesn't look like a super dark Maduro as far as color goes, but it packs a punch. It's a great flavor. And so I'm excited to experience that again and just kind of reconfirm that. But supposedly I'm going to be tasting some black pepper, some earth, some Brazilian spices, along with some dark chocolate. And I would say, in my past experience, that's been pretty true to its flavor. But let's see if this one's any different for any reason. This is probably one of my favorite things that CAO manufacturers is this BX3. So anytime I'm in a humidor and see one, I'll pick one up because they're pretty cheap. I want to say this one was about $13. That's about average cigar price. It's, I wouldn't say high, but it's an average price for a cigar, especially one of this quality. So you're definitely going to want this. This is the 6-inch by 60 ring gauge, so a little bit thicker than I usually smoke, but again, definitely worth it. So I'm going to check this sucker out and see what you guys think. Let me give it the old snip with the V. How much I love this V cutter. Um, Snip it right here. Give it a dry draw. See what its dry draw tastes like. Mm. You definitely get that chocolate with a little bit of those spices in there. It didn't say exactly what the spices were, but it was, I guess, specific to the Brazilian manufacturer. What they want to say is in it, but it's got Brazilian spices. So that's good. We'll go ahead and give it a light. See what she's like. Yeah, when I'm smoking these things, you really want to take the time to warm up the foot of the cigar. You blowing on it to make sure that it's red all the way around. And you're definitely looking for that white ash. You don't want any dark gray ash. Sometimes you got to warm it up just a little bit more, and that's totally okay. Much better. Oh, yeah. As much as you can, you want to make sure that whenever you're touching up or warming it up, try not to touch the flame to the cigar itself because it'll burn. Once it burns, the ash doesn't stick right. The flavor palette changes to that nasty, oily thing. It's just very pungent on the lips. So this is right out the gate exactly what it always is. Just a good tasting cigar. Yeah, it's got some good smoke to it. For me personally, I love a good cloud of smoke. It's part of what makes the experience so cool for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep smoking this thing, get it down to about a third here, see how long we can keep that ash stack up. You know how much of a sucker I am for a long ash stack. And we'll be right back to see how this works. All right, we got this thing about a third down. As you can see, it's not smoking perfectly even. I've seen worse. Still a great flavor as usual. But let me give a little touch up on this. I don't usually like the touch up. It takes off points, but I'll do it nonetheless to get it down to where it needs to be. It's for some reason it's not doing it on its own. Could be as simple as it's been sitting in my truck for 3 or 4 days without a humidor, so it may not be up to humidified proper humidity. So let's see. Got that touched up. All right. So right now we're looking good. I'm gonna flip this thing sideways to see if it falls. It does not. It's a really good white ash. There's a little, like a tiny bit of gray in there. But it's a good ash stack. I like it. I'll go ahead and knock it off. And I want to see if there's coning. If there's any coning at the top there, that usually means it's being smoked too fast, getting too hot. And I do have a tendency to do that. I like to smoke things a little faster than sometimes they're meant to be smoked. So let's see. Yeah, there's definite coning, but I think it might have to do with this side that I had to touch up. That ash wasn't quite, um, as you can see, it's kind of dark. It wasn't quite smoked enough. But I'm probably smoking it a little too fast, anyways. But I will continue smoking this. I'm going to see if that ash kind of catches up and it continues to get back down to a place of evenness. And we'll be right back to give this thing a final grade. All right. I've gotten this thing down. I'll probably continue smoking this a little bit down, but it's good enough. You can kind of see how it is evened itself out to a nice even burn. So I think we might have just had a cold spot on the cigar or a spot on it that was a little dehumidified. Maybe it was, you know, the side that was sitting in my truck, sun up. Sun was getting it, maybe drying it out a little bit. But we got past it and it's a perfect smoke. I did not notice until I was taking off the wrapper that there is a QR code right to the left of the wrapper. We just talked about this a few weeks ago with one of the other cigars that I reviewed, that there are QR codes that these manufacturers are putting on these wrappers. This one, it took me a second because it's such a small QR code, but it took me to their website, caocigars.com. And it took me directly to this specific cigar. And then it kind of gives me the story. See, I guess I don't have very good signal in here, but there's the whole story behind it. There you go. Kind of see the cigars, kind of gives me a storyline there. That way I can kind of read how it came to be, where I can buy them, what the price is. Really, really cool. That's a really genius marketing tool that we're seeing these manufacturers put on their cigar wrappers, their paper wrappers. So very pretty. I mean, it's a very pretty wrapper to begin with. All these colors, very reminiscent of Brazilian culture. Very bright, very exotic, and so this definitely lives up to his name over and over. It's a good smoke. It's very It's strong, but it doesn't have like extremely crazy flavors. It's still kind of mellow in its flavor, but strong in the intensity. And so definitely got that black pepper throughout. Not a problem there. Definitely got that chocolate at the beginning, and then the earth kind of in the middle. And as we move toward the end, we're definitely getting more pepper as usual. But this is always a win for me. I've never had a bad experience. Like I said, that angle, the unevenness of the burn, that was an anomaly. It's not usual, but we got it figured out. As you see, I haven't touched it up at all since then, and it's burning perfectly even now. So good white ash, exactly what we want. So this cigar is always going to be up in the high eights for me. Price is great, experience is great. I didn't like having to touch it up the first time, but I'm going to chalk that up to an anomaly. I'm going to give this like an 8.6 because, again, as far as experience goes, it's not the greatest thing I've ever smoked in my life, but it's steady. It's always going to be there. This could easily be, because the price you get online for these things, you get like a box of 25 for 180. That's less than, what's that, like 8, 9 bucks a stick? Not even that. Yeah, about 8 bucks a stick. So very, very good price. This could easily be a daily smoker. If you're into it, if that's kind of your thing. But this is a full-bodied smoke, so you'll definitely want to smoke this with a drink or something. Otherwise, it could upset your stomach. Maybe I'm just a wuss. I don't know. That's possible. But great cigar. I'm going to continue smoking this all the way out. But I do want to mention our small group, our men's ministry, Holy Smokes Men's Ministry. Very unique thing that we have going on here: cigars, bourbon, pipe tobacco or tobacco pipes, whiskey, beer, whatever you want. We've got groups that don't smoke at all, don't drink at all. They just like coffee and talking about guns. Maybe that's your thing. But at the end of the day, if this is something that interests you, you're not in our area to experience one of our 4 chapters, reach out via Facebook, via our website. Message us and say, hey, how do I do this in my area? I do a lot of the writing. Some of the other guys write some stuff. As far as the questions go each week, we'll send them to you. It's super easy. You just get a group of guys together, enjoy each other's company, open the Bible, ask questions of the passage or the topic that we're talking about, and just see where the Lord leads. It's such a cool experience to see men grow in their faith, because when they grow in their faith, they tend to grow with their family. They tend to be better fathers. They tend to be better employees or employers. It's huge. And the Bible teaches us that. Draw nigh to me and I'll draw nigh to you. The whole idea that as we get closer to God, the more our lives emulate Christ, which is our ultimate purpose, to be Christ-like. So I love you guys. I thank you all for joining in as usual. And we will see you next time on our Holy Smokes Men's Ministry Cigar Review Edition. See y'all.